In this video, we will be setting up a Mockins foldable hitch carrier, and we'll be adding some brake lights to this basket so that way you can see it when it's all loaded up. That nice big cargo bag is blocking our brake lights on our 2025 Land Cruiser, and those lights will fix that problem. This is Mockins large hitch mount carrier with the cargo bag, the net, ratchet straps, stabilizing bracket, and the pin to lock it to your vehicle. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing opened up and check out all the contents. All right, so basically we've got two large halves of the basket. Those are gonna be together and make the basket assembly. Then you've got the cargo cover, the cargo net, straps, bracketry and hardware, the license plate relocation kit, and this is going to be actually my favorite part of this. This rod right here is assembled to go into the hitch carrier on your vehicle. But if you see the multiple bolt holes right here, that is actually a hole for the pin, so you can actually swing up an empty basket if you're not using it and keep it from hanging so far out of the vehicle when it's empty. So basically it just gives you dual function. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this stuff all bolted together and see what it looks like as one complete unit. All right guys, there's really nothing to it when you put one of these baskets together. There's a center rod that bolts the two halves together. Those little center plates bolt front and back on top. And then you've got the hitch pin and the bolt that'll let you swing it if you want to. And of course, don't forget the stabilizing bracket right there. Anyways, enough rambling. That's what you can do with your own cargo and the net that they give you. We're gonna go ahead and get this removed, put on the cargo bag that comes with the hitch carrier, put all of our camping gear in it and strap it down. First, we've got the EcoFlow for power, rinse kit to shower, portable toilet, two outdoor floor mats for the exit and entrance of the tent, the Nemo Jazz double sleeping bag, Nemo 4-person tent, Nemo privacy shelter, which doubles as a shower and a restroom, the Nemo Roamer double self-inflating bed, Nemo footprint for the tent, and two pillow pillows, two camping chairs, and two jugs of water. Dang, that thing is loaded up, strapped down with the 5 straps that they give you, and we're ready to go. Right here, I ended up just going up to our local mountains really quick so you can see how the hitch stabilizer keeps that basket nice and level. Otherwise, that thing would be rocking all over the place. But I did notice that we do need to add a set of brake lights, which we'll go over in just a second. But aside from showing you how much I could pack into that cargo bag, I wanted to show the camping setup all put together so you can just get a better visual idea of what it could carry. Now, this has been a great setup, and that bag actually had room to spare to put even more stuff in it. And previously, all of these contents would have been in the bed of the Tacoma, but now with the hitch carrier, we have more room, which we can also put the carrier on the Tacoma as well. Alright guys, one last thing that we're going to do before we finish this video is put on a set of lights. Now these things come in a kit form, already pre-wired for the 4-pin harness. We'll plug right into the trailer harness on the Land Cruiser. But basically, with the cargo bag fully loaded, the tail lights are completely blocked. You can only see the third brake light. So we're gonna add a little bit of safety with this thing, and I'll link it down below if you want to add one to yours. Now, Mockins does sell a hitch carrier with lights already, so go ahead and opt for that if you haven't purchased a basket yet. But if you have the same one as mine, pick up a set of these lights, make it a little bit safer for everyone. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open this thing up and unbox the contents inside. So right off the bat, we got some hardware, bolts with lock washers and nuts. This is going to be the 4-pin trailer harness connection. And I guess these are going to be the 2 plugs to the trailer lights. Here we've got the light in a bracket already ready to go. Instructions. Another light ready to go in a bracket. And a handful of zip ties. So I've seen a few people mount their lights like this, and to me the biggest problem is you're losing all this ground clearance. On this car it's not a big problem, but on a smaller car like a crossover, this thing's gonna be hitting the ground. So I was looking at other ways, and I was thinking maybe mounting it on top, but there's not enough of a bite because of this lip. So I was thinking under here and drilling through, which you can, but you have a bunch of metal in here that'd be protruding out, and you'd have to drill into the basket itself. So I decided to try to flip it right here. And what we're gonna do is get an oversized washer, go underneath and just capture it between the basket itself, and just put a nut, bolt, and washer. We'll still have a bunch of clearance here, and to me this seems like the best way to do it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing mounted up. We'll probably put the bolt facing down with the lock washer on the oversized washer. And I'm just going to dry test fit it real quick. Yeah, that thing ain't going nowhere. So just looking at the wire harness that already comes with it, I ended up taking the light out and flipping it so the plug goes this way, and they're going to meet left, right in the center, and we'll go straight to the vehicle from there. Instead of, I was originally just going to go around, but there's not enough length, so flipping it around was a better move. Now obviously I could have unbolted it and flipped it, but I ended up just popping the light out and moving it like this and just reinserting it. Just make sure that the lip of this gasket is pushed back out so you know it's not going to pop out on you. And we'll go ahead and get this thing bolted up. So this was version 1 of how I route the wires, but if you look, you can see where I had a little loop of extra wire because it was more on one side of the basket than the other. So I went ahead and took it all apart and redid it and ran the wires underneath the basket and then popped the plug up through one of the openings in the mesh and plugged it into the light, which I'll show you in just a sec. Alright guys, just like that, we got the wiring looking nice and tidy. So again, we went from left and right to the center, and I fished it under here through this opening down, and so we went all the way down and plugged right into the 4-pin plug on the Land Cruiser. So right now we're going to go ahead and test the lights, and if you're wondering why we wanted one of these baskets in the first place, you can see the baby stroller taking up all the cargo space. Obviously we don't have to take this out on like a camping trip, but for most day trips or weekend getaways, we're gonna need a stroller. And if we do need extra space, we got it with the hitch carrier. We got this thing in the shade so you can see the lights better when I do the test right now. But I ended up rerouting this from the way I showed you in the time lapse. I popped this from the bottom up, plugged it in, and I ran the wires underneath the mesh so that it doesn't interfere with any of the cargo or any of the tubs when I put it in. So after that, I went under and we put these zip ties through the pipe. So if there is mesh right here, it's not chafing on the line itself. So that's how I ended up doing this piece right here. We'll go ahead and pop this pin off so you can see underneath. And that was just with a set of miscellaneous sized zip ties that I got off Amazon as well. I'll link that in the description, or you can just pick up a random assortment. So anyways, we met these things up right here, and I kind of just put them in the crease and just ran it down. This little guy right here, I put a little piece of double-sided tape just to keep it nice and secure. And then I came down through here so there's still enough slack when I flip it or go flat. And there's a nice crease in here for strength that I just put a zip tie around and let the wire loosely move. And we're going straight into the OEM 4-pin connector. Now, pro tip, before you do all of that, make sure you plug in the connector and test the lights so you know which side is left and which side is right. Obviously, I wouldn't make a mistake like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and test these lights out so we can see how they look. Make sure that the daytime running light functions, the blink functions, and the brake functions. Alright guys, we are good to go. That light test was successful. Huge shout out to Mockins for sending me out this basket. And also, if you want to get 10% off, don't forget to use code Giovanni, that is Giovanni, or use the link in the description. You will get 10% off your order of $69.99 or more on Mockins website. Anyways, we'll catch you on the next one.